Uh, It is 9:03, August 19th, 2025. And we'll call the Floyd County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. And our first action would be to review action regarding approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion? All right, move the agenda. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Josh. Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay.
I just heard you talking on there. Something.
Public comment. Nobody in the room. Anybody? On the floor? Hearing none. We'll move on to 3, review action regarding approval of the August 12th, 2025 minutes.
I didn't have any issues with the minutes. If y'all are good with it, make a motion to approve. I would move to approve. I don't know what those minutes are. That's part of the packet. But it's got a 2 parts highlighted, and one doesn't make any sense of what's highlighted. But that's the next one. What you're looking at isn't the minutes
No,
from this meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a motion to approve the August 12th minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Josh, seconded. Yeah. Everything? Or none? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Pass. Now, 4, review the action regarding a correction of the June 30th, 2025 minutes. We had, the claims, I understand, were approved. It just was, not put in minutes. Is that, am I saying that right, Morty?
Yeah, yep, so, the drainage claim that was approved on June 30th just wasn't included in the minutes, and the minutes were approved. So this would be to correct those minutes.
So it'll be correct minutes.
I don't know that that's the appropriate place to correct them, or if we just correct it now and with these minutes.
I guess however you want to do it, but
Now, why,
We've already approved those
we
minutes.
approved the minutes, but we
Yeah.
missed,
So I would think if we just approve, I don't know, my thoughts are we just approve it
approved that
Today.
one.
and make a motion to approve it today, and it's in the minutes today that it was approved for.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Schweitzer.
Yes, this is Merlin Schweitzer.
Yes.
On that claim on June 30th, it should never have been paid. It was work that was done that should not have been done because it was never talked about in the meetings. It never was approved. And on December 16th of 24, in the minutes, it says to install riprap on the west edge of the curve of 180, which is by Larson, not to put riprap on Resiskis and tear down the berm. This is supposed to be a repair. The repair is supposed to put back to the original. And what was done on Resiskis was not original. And I'd like to know who authorized that to happen because it was never in any minutes. And on December 16th of 24, it was approved to put the riprap on the curve on Wolf's on 180th. And that never got done. So how did this claim get done when it never was approved? And then the tile extensions on this bill should have been a warranty, not a pay.
Rowan, I'm not sure about, if there wasn't riprap approved on, Forsyth's. I do know around that
It's
curve.
not on Forsyth, it was done on Resisky.
Oh, excuse me.
They tore the,
On
they tore the,
Resistant.
where they tore the berm down and put the riprap in there.
Not sure.
That was never approved by anybody, and that's not a repair. A repair is put it back to the original, and that was not original.
Well, I think there was some contention there that that was needed. Now, the riprap that wasn't put around the curve there, on the other, I discussed that with, Larson, Bolton Mink, and I asked him about that because it's close to the road, and I was concerned that on high water or something, we would wash out the road because it's right there in the ditch, you know. And they said to do that, if I remember right, was something like $25,000 to get that done. And they didn't think that, you know, that we really needed that if we could get by and not spend that kind of money on that curve. So I agreed with them that I thought that was, riprap's pretty expensive. And I told them, you know, if it was in their opinion as the contractor and the person doing the work, that I'd go along with that and not put it there. And now down on Resiscas, I am not sure that because of the difference in the soil type there, that they were afraid of more erosion than, you know, that, or whatever. But I think that and I don't know about that not being in the original contract. That was before my time, but that was worth, I think that they thought was necessary. And so.
But there was no approval in the minutes about it. There was nothing done about it.
Well,
And that's not putting back to the original. That's the repair, put it back to the original. And that is not original.
So I'll just say,
And them tile extensions on there should have been a warranty, not $4,300.
yeah, I
They
can't
didn't do it
confirm,
right the first
I
time.
can't confirm all of what you're saying, Merlin, but I do agree that, did it get, I'm just checking with Morgan here. If the board approved that $6,000 payment as an agenda item for drainage district number 3, separate from approval of claims, if we didn't do that, we should have done that.
But still don't make it right because it should not have been done in the
Well,
first place.
like I say, I can't confirm what you're saying because the tile extensions, it would be warranty if it was an extension that was put on and needed to be replaced. But if it was never put on, the contract was X amount of dollars for tile extensions. And so we would have to pay for that. That's not warranty. That's just an extension that, for whatever reason. There was a per price fee for the tile extensions in the
No, it
original.
should have been on warranty because they should have done it right the first time.
Well, I would disagree with you on that. It should be taken care of, but by contract, it is a billable item.
Well, we disagree on that totally.
Yeah, but I agree with you that if we didn't approve it as an agenda item, independently of claims, but that's where I'm not 100% sure we did or didn't, but we're thinking we didn't. I have to do it as a, I do not know.
I don't know.
It was not approved on the agenda according to the minutes.
I mean, on the agenda. Yeah, and typically it would be approved on the agenda, approved as a drainage district action item. And then the next claim run, it would be paid. But it sounds like maybe this one
Filter.
got in and did we sign a claim for it? Yeah,
Yeah.
we signed a claim for it. So there is maybe some follow-up to do, but we don't have the claim in front of us to even see what Merlin's even talking about. So my thoughts are that we maybe table this till the next meeting and we can get that claim to look at. And if there's any follow-up we need to do before the next meeting with what is this actually? Is it for example, riprap that riprap had its price as well in the contract. So is it warranty for riprap that failed, or is a tile that extension that failed, or is it warranty, or is it not warranty? And it's part of what we have to pay for in the contract. You know, if you remember that December meeting, their November, December meeting, whatever it was, they said if there are, because of not always being able to find a tile where there might need to be an extension, might have been buried or whatever, until we got some rain, they wouldn't maybe know that. And they said in the spring, there may be some of that. And that's part of the contract, may not warranty.
Yeah.
And then the riprap part, I don't know if the riprap was there, there was not, it wasn't in the specs to riprap certain areas. And so I don't know, without Merlin, I don't think we can give any answer today. I think we just have to table this until we can, look into it more.
Well, at one point in time, Larson Contracting said they were not coming back. They were absolutely done. They got paid. So who allows Larson to come back and start patching this thing up when Todd Pritchard and some of this is gonna be in litigation? Because this thing is not done right.
Well, that'd be.
So who allowed Larson to come back, and why are you paying Larson?
I met with, I forget that was, I met with Bolton Mink, Larson, and Ben Neal out there, because there was a lot of question what to do from that railroad bridge and coming down and coming around that curve. And there was a big tree, I know, in that one section, and there was work that wasn't done. And I told them about that, we needed to do something about that. And then that was where the discussion was, where that makes that bend right there, close to the road. I asked about that, and they all said, you just don't want to do that. But Bolton, or Larson told me he had to come back and take out where they made an approach, to go over the ditch.
Please mute phone.
Somebody,
I'm gonna hang up and you have to call back in.
okay.
Welcome to the conference assistant. Enter an app. One moment while your call is connected.
Just come. I met with them, and Larson said they had forgotten to take out that, where they jumped across the ditch so they could do work along further down, and they forgot to take that out. So he said, we gotta come back and take that out. And when I come back and I got the excavator here, he said, I'll come up here and I'll level that out, coming around and take out that tree and shape that where I didn't think it was good enough. And so I'm guilty, and asked them, okay, if you come back, fix that. And they did. They came back and fixed it, and it looks good. And when they took out, where they had to jump the ditch.
But
So
shouldn't that have been part of the original contract? They shouldn't have never sent a bill for doing that work.
I
We have
don't
to look
think,
at the bill.
I don't think,
We have to look at the bill.
Well, there shouldn't be a bill.
well, I don't know if there is one
I
on that.
disagree with you until we look at the bill. But I would also say,
Then
I am not aware of Larson's reporting to you or to me that they are done, they're never coming back.
well, that's
I
another,
know that was something that was said to that someone Merlin talked to said, but that may not have been the person
didn't
in
have
charge,
time to
and it
look
never happened to the Board of Supervisors. Please let me finish before you interrupt me again. That never happened to the Board of Supervisors. That Larson said, we're done here, we're not coming back.
Yeah.
we will find that in the minutes. Because I
That
remember
Merlin
it
said
very
it.
well.
That Merlin said it.
No, Larson said they were done and not coming
Okay, you
back.
find it. in
And
the
if they were
minutes.
gonna come back, it was gonna have to be under warranty work.
Then you find.
Now,
out the
and
minutes
I
and
also
show it.
disagree with Boyd meeting with Larson and Bolton Minks without the rest of the landowners knowing about this.
We're the trustees of the district. That's very appropriate.
Were you there?
No.
Okay, then, how can he speak for the trustees by himself?
Well, I think it was discussed that I would meet with them.
Yes,
That I was gonna get a hold of them and meet with them and,
It's,
just,
I'll try it again.
and finish up some work that I think needed to be done, because there was a
Welcome to the
question,
conference
Marty,
assistant.
about those
Enter in
trees, and I wanted to know about that. I didn't understand that, and that goes into the CRP. And then, you know, we got the railroad above that. But
Radio is-
while I was there, I mean, I thought it went really well.
Welcome to the conference assistant.
I mean,
Enter
Larson
an access
said that
code,
he
then
would
press
come back, because he had to come
One
back.
moment while your call is
You know.
connected.
And he would, and as long as he had the machine, he said, I'll just come down here and take care of this. Now, as far as being paid, I don't think. I don't know, if there's a bill on that or not. What I'm not sure now on this riprap that was put in up here in Resistas. I don't know about that. We'll have to find out about that. But, that was, I thought, quite honestly, being a trustee of that District 3, I can't see why I can't talk to them and find out problems or try to circumvent, you know, always trying to get this done. I just thought I'm doing my job. Maybe,
Well,
I see as a
if there
problem
was
with
a-
information to the landowners.
well, I thought I was,
there's, that doesn't happen with any of our projects.
He met with Larson and Bolton Minks and never told anybody that's paying the bill. Don't you see a problem with that?
He did his duty as a trustee of the drainage.
Did he act for the other three?
So the only thing I would say is if it was part of what was expected to be done by the contract and it had billable ties to it, yes. He didn't act out of line.
I don't think that, I don't, quite honestly, I'm not sure, quite honestly, if Larson charged for going up and rounding that thing after coming back and taking out that drive. I don't know, but I quite honestly thought I was doing my
Morgan said,
job as a trustee, talking to him and trying to get this thing resolved, but
Morgan
Well, I
emailed the bill to us and the bill is for 7 12-inch tile extension repair, 140 feet. That was $4,323.20. And the riprap was $1,749.86.
and that was riprap on what date?
That's the bill that came through.
What date was that? 6/6, June 6th.
Yeah,
It's the due date on the bill.
oh yeah, that's
Oh, that's.
the date on the invoice. So it was done before June 6th, presumably.
Okay. Get this in.
I think that sounds right with your timeline stuff.
So so there wasn't anything about, doing the bend.
No.
See, I think, and June.
So if there would have been for charge for something that was extra, that should have came to the supervisor.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Gordy, he charged it for, June 6th. I don't see anything that, cause I usually write things down when I meet with somebody, but I don't see anything there.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
John Zimmerman down here in Butler County. As you're well aware, I'm keeping pretty good track of this. What Merlin was reviewing is December 16th. It's on tape. Gloria's auditor and probably drainage clerk Tyler Conway said he was gonna call and tell Larson to come and address that Wolf curve and do some other things, and it all happened before the end of December. So it's on tape. Whatever's in the minutes is in the minutes. So they dumped that riprap on T38 without your engineer knowing it, 2 loads, scooted it over to Rosiska's 3-foot drainage outlet, which is facility owned, and then cut the berm down and let the water in. The specs say no surface water comes in the DD3. They did 2 things. They cut the berm off and let the surface water in the DD3. They didn't address what Tyler Conway from Bolton Bank said they were going to do. They're supposed to pull the dirt off of both banks on that Forsyth Wolf property, and they cut it from one side, and you allowed them to do it. And then they come back and cleaned up the west side and never put riprap. So I don't understand when nobody authorized this, the whole thing's closed out, completion hearing, and then you allow $6,000 expense coming through on top of the $7,500 LiDAR report that's never been addressed. And then they have a special meeting with Chairman Boyd Campbell without Dennis Kiefer or Gloria Carr in the room. I just don't understand why all this goes on. Thank you.
And I don't know, going back to December 16th or.
The
My
things
memory.
of that meeting that were additional were, if there were extensions that are discovered, that we have to pay for, that is not warranty. So if that's what this 12-inch tile extension is, that we have to pay for.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I don't see, Morgan, do we have anything that you can find about them doing anything around that bend?
Like, you want me to look for
And
invoices,
riprap
or what do you ask?
Well, I guess I'd have to go back and see every bill that was brought in after June 6th, I guess, and see if there was additional charges or if there was anything additional, because I just cannot, I don't know. And quite honestly, and I'm still gonna think I'm doing my job as a trustee to go out and look at what they're talking about. I don't see I did anything wrong there. And in fact, I think I might have even said I'm gonna go out and see you.
You did.
know?
You did.
Yeah, and so
You said because it was in your district, you'd go ahead.
I go out,
champion
yeah,
that
and I'm paying the part of the bill too. I'm in District
Yeah.
3. So it's not like, I'm not sensitive to paying a lot because quite honestly, this is very expensive. And, so I still stand that I don't think I did anything wrong. And that I was doing my due diligence and, meeting with these guys. Now, I guess extra work for you, Morgan, or whatever, if we could find any bills from there
Since June 6th,
since June 6th.
bill that has come in for drainage district 3 is that Larson bill,
Just
That
this.
one there,
just this one.
nothing
That's the only-
since then.
Nothing else is coming.
And so, our agenda item here is, we signed the claim for it.
Yes, we did.
It didn't get put in the minutes.
Yeah,
That's what this is
was
about.
just to correct it. I checked it back the whole year
Yeah.
to make sure there were no other ones. It is a different process when you copy and paste the claims.
It just got-
Separate. It just got missed.
it just got missed.
But I don't know, still would say, I don't know that it's appropriate that we go back and change those minutes or that because they're signed, approved, done.
Well, that's true.
And that we just at this meeting say, we are noting the approval of, or view and action regarding putting this claim, making
No,
Considering this claim as a paid claim, June 30th or whatever day it was.
that's probably the best way, instead of
Yes.
changing the minutes.
But anything else with these issues that Merlin's talking about are, I don't see this one as an issue. But anything that Merlin is talking about, I
Since then,
can't answer that. I mean, your intentions are still to meet with players, and even you invited Merlin whenever that meeting happens to come as well. Like you said, you're trying to get that organized.
trying to get that organized, yeah.
Yep.
I-
And without rain, it might even be harder yet.
Well, it's difficult because
Yeah.
there's been so much rain, there's road washouts,
Yes.
people are just scrambling to get things done. But I still, and that's what I was gonna bring up later, I'm gonna try, well, to meet with Bolton Mink, the 22nd, which is as soon as we can get together.
That's this week.
Yeah, the Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
If he can get,
Yeah,
because we can't get everybody together. I'm having a heck of a time getting them
Yeah.
all. But, again, I was gonna keep Merlin in the loop and all this, but, I think you're right, Gloria, in that we probably shouldn't amend the minutes, perhaps, just make a note today about paying this, that,
Yeah.
or make it a note.
Yeah.
And I think that would suffice.
Yeah.
Right?
it was approved. It just got.
Have you got any
Yes.
comment on this? You're a newbie. You,
I'm just trying to figure out, because the mayor both said, is this considered part of the contract work that was done?
well,
Or we've
everything that
always
we've
been.
had to this June 6th is.
I believe it is because it's not doing the rounding or whatever that you talked about. That he did within the contract. This is material costs that are due per the contract. And that's not new to me from the December meeting. Anything that was, like I say, those tile extensions, if they were there, if they were missed, because this is a district that hasn't had work done on it for, yeah. And some of those tiles got buried over time, and it was dry.
And they're steel and they rotted off. And I knew we would find more because in Thailand you just do.
Yeah.
But I really do believe when I talked to those guys out there and they were gonna come back and take care of where he made that approach over the ditch. He said, I gotta do that anyway. They forgot about it. And I said, well, I really think this could be straightened up around this bend and talk about riprap. They said, that's too expensive, but he said, since I got the machine here, I will come up. And he did, he rounded that and shaped that grade. I mean, I went out later and looked at it and I thought it was a great job. And I don't know, I don't think we've been billed for it. So,
No.
I mean, I think he just did that to do what I asked and what I thought was right, and
This
Being a
doesn't appear to be a
trustee,
bill
so-
for that.
unless we get something else, and I am gonna meet with, Tyler, hopefully this Friday.
Is it common for this company to bill and they're billing it this big? Or it's just a couple of materials that are put on there with nothing, no information or anything, like when they did it or what they did?
Well, it was part of the contract.
Right, but I mean, if somebody
We've
changed
been
the
bit-
oil on your car and they just say they bill you for your oil, not for what they did when they did it, you're gonna question whether they actually did it. That's, no, it's just very, just a,
Well, we still have a lot of follow-up to do on animal guards that,
Yeah.
when the weather gets, when we can get down in the ditches and do that, I don't know how much water's in the ditch, probably quite a bit.
And
And we said we were gonna
stuff,
do that, yeah, and, so, yeah, there's some work that still needs to be done. And this is ongoing. And I have no idea on the riprap that went on Forsyth, what what that is about. That's new to me.
Is the bill for spraying the weeds in that $6,000?
No,
No,
Where's
that's,
the bill for spraying?
that hasn't come in yet.
it hasn't come, yeah, I don't think we.
No,
I don't think
You-
that's coming yet.
there was no additional charge for spraying the weeds, if that's what you're looking at.
Well, there
For the
is,
second time for spraying.
No,
No.
you're talking planting.
yeah,
Oh,
planting.
Spraying is separate.
That's
It's a
separate.
different company.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and we have a whole different company doing the spraying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That bill hasn't come in.
and I don't think it
so.
has. I haven't seen it in the claims yet. And, I went out and Merlin, I brought that up, that, he didn't think it was a very good job. But the weeds on the top of the berm down from what I've seen where I was, they're dead, but down in where the water was and everything, you know, there's some growing. But if they gotta come back, I bet they'll come back, you know, but this has been a terrible year to spray, see everything. I mean, you know, I sprayed ditches and I go by 2 days later and I missed a spot. I mean, this hasn't been good. But I still think
Well, I think
I did the
there
right
was-
thing by going out. I don't think I did anything wrong.
How much money is left on DD3?
What do you mean?
How
by-
much excess? After the bills have been paid, the landowners all paid in, how much money is left? Because the landowners I talked to are worried about the money's gonna be
So-
gone and you're gonna have to assess for some more.
Potentially could because of that drone stuff that was done that
Yeah,
wasn't part of the
that's
project.
gotta be paid.
So the project has not been done right. So
Well-
somebody has to come back and
Right.
correct it.
But the
How much
district-
is the
but so what
landowner supposed to pay?
When the assessment was done by the board, Tyler had extra figured out in case we did more work outside of the scope of the project, or if there was tile extension. So there was extra assessed at the time. But I don't think it's gonna probably cover the drone
No.
charges,
It was-
the
that was gonna be
$7,500 or whatever for that.
That was gonna be
So
extra.
that will be extra.
Yeah, yeah.
They will have to be assessed in the future.
Yeah.
But the project came in way under their estimate. Well under their estimate.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, at
And-
first we were
And
talking 700,000, they thought, and we got down to 4.
yeah, the estimate came in the lowest, and then they came in under that estimate.
Yeah,
it looks like it got done cheap also.
Oh my
Well,
gosh,
I
I
don't-
think it's been such an improvement to that.
I don't know,
district.
Gertie, and I don't wanna argue too much about this, but farmer to farmer, it was a mess, you know?
Well, I understand.
And that's difficult when you got a mess of trees and all that, and then finding tile and all this, and I
But
don't
at the
know.
time, Larson had perfect working conditions. That ditch was dry,
Yeah,
because we had dry summer.
oh,
that
it
year.
was good.
So
But it was just
to
that
do,
dryness
to do
also.
shoddy work,
Well, I don't think it was shoddy.
Shoddy work either.
I don't think it was shoddy.
I got a couple excavator guys I took out there and looked at it and said they wouldn't never done it that way.
Well, yeah, maybe. That's always
Okay.
good for somebody that, you know, but I don't, personally, being up on the upper end of it, what I've seen, and how many people we have in District 3?
I think
You know,
like 100 or
100? I
like
don't,
100 parcels or something. like that.
I don't like seeing weeds grow too, but it was too damn dry to get the grass to grow. And then we get all this water now.
We kind of had the perfect storms.
We just had some problems, you know, and I don't think it's bad. If the slope is 2.5 to 1, or if it's 2.6, and that was a part of the contract anyways, to be put back as it was. And quite honestly, and then there's some erosion. We got water and it was dry and that ground was, it washed, you know? I don't know. I'm not unhappy with it. I think it looks pretty good in places, you know?
I do too. Did you hear anything from the railroad? Kind of
I haven't, oh God, no.
Yeah, we have gotten out of the scope of this agenda item.
Yeah, so, but again, so everybody knows it, at this time, I am supposed to meet with Bolton Mink, hopefully this Friday. We haven't set up a time yet or anything, so, I was gonna throw this out and what we did in the commissions and boards and all that. I want that known.
Well, should we,
So, and as far as the riprap, I guess I'm gonna have to get answers on that. I don't know why or what the deal was there. I really don't. I'll have to find out. Okay,
if there was
okay,
a
Merlin?
price in the contract, we're obligated to pay that. If there's a
Yeah.
price in the contract for that material. we're
Yeah,
obligated to pay it.
and, you know, we must have cut Merlin off. So anyway,
So, I don't know how we want a motion. What do you want?
well, are we done with,
Noting it?
not changing the minutes?
I don't think we should go back and
I
change. those
don't
minutes.
know, I don't, whatever, but what's the alternative on not doing that? Just noting it in this minutes that we should.
Note that the board approved claim number
approved.
154550 for Drainage District 3 to Larson Contracting. That was paid on June 30th, 2025, but it was overlooked in putting the claim in the minutes. Don't see that as a motion, just
I don't
as a,
either, I just think it's something that we should do.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that takes a motion, I can't.
but it was
Well, we
signed
need to
off by
correct it.
all three board members. It was
Yeah.
done. Well, two board members. I
You
think.
got
I
it,
wasn't on.
yeah,
Oh.
so duly noted that we've corrected it and we made known, so.
Yeah.
So it's public knowledge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and maybe have some reference that because those minutes were already approved, we're not changing those minutes, that this is the intent of correcting those minutes.
Morgan, what do you think? Can you,
Hey,
I'm
I'm on
just-
spot.
can you massage that and for,
I'll listen back.
okay, I appreciate that, thank you.
And a good, hopefully you can get that meeting going on Friday.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
take care
I
of
had
it.
to call him 2 weeks ago and they're busy until,
Yeah, it's their busy times.
it is, it is. Anyway. I think that'll take care of that part.
And if, Josh, if you think there's a reason to know what day they did that work, we could probably get that from Larson's. Larson's is a very reputable company. I just want that to be on record as well, that they do excellent work and I hope we can use them in the future.
And I should. You had a little concern, but maybe they could have a little bit more detail.
A little more detail would be nice, so you actually know what you're paying for. I understand it's contract work, but I still gotta be able to check off on what the contract was done.
It's
And I'm
something
not
that we
sure-
should specify.
and
with
I'm
all
not
drainage
sure
claims,
I'm
that
gonna
that's
meet
what-
with them.
If you looked at our claims, you aren't getting detail
No, I
in
understand,
our claims.
Yeah,
but for major construction projects and whatnot, you kind of want to be able to know what's going on.
yeah. Um,
On that note, I think the public would like to have some details also.
yeah, and you got as much as I know right now. And if that was the last bill and we haven't gotten anything after that, you know, that's as much as I know. Now I'll meet with them again and I'll try to, I got a question on why the riprap too, I guess, you know, quite honestly. But if there wasn't any bill or anything on that, I think we're good to go, you know? You know as much as I do.
Text cash.
I'm just trying to do what I thought was right. And I still think that I can meet with them. try to work something out, look at it anyway.
That
I
actually is
didn't
how some
approve any new
counties,
money.
it is actually how some counties do their drainage districts, is that the, one of the trustees just goes out and sees, hey, what's the problem? And
I honestly thought that was the way to, hands-on, I mean. I know, no,
No, I don't believe a board of three, one guy can act for all three.
well,
I don't believe that.
well, this
If
claim
that's the
doesn't
case,
show
then
that he
Why
acted
isn't there only
on.
one supervisor here today?
This
I'm
claim doesn't show that there was any out.
I'm talking about him meeting personally with Bolton, Mink and Larson without representing the other two super trustees being there.
No problem with
You can
that.
do that all the time.
You could do that,
The only
but
thing
if
is,
he
when
would
I-
have said, do this extra work and bill us for it, that would be, I would have an issue with that.
yeah, but I don't think it's any different than me walking into a coffee shop and I got somebody that said, hey, Campbell, why in the world isn't that, road being gravelled or whatever? You know, I don't know. I think I should be able to talk and then bring it back to the board, and I did.
Sure.
And told them what we did. I disagree with you on that. Otherwise, how would we get anything done? Josh has got a full-time job every year. Anyway, I disagree. We're gonna go on. Okay, we're gonna go to number 5, review action regarding approval of claims. Had a chance to go through and I didn't see anything that was out of ordinary myself.
Just had, just question, and I don't know if Lexi's had a chance to look at it. Oh, it was just the claim for the fixing Chatfield's vehicle. Looked like it was made out to the individual person, and I just asked if they're using a social security number, a Fed ID number. And I see it's got this person's name and then the name of the business on what Lexi sent me. But it is the Fed ID number, so that should be flipped around, that the Fed ID number is tied to the name of the business, I would assume. So that might be something to work with Lexi on to see how the W-9 came through. That was all.
Okay. After that, you want to make a motion to
I can make a motion to approve the claim.
claims?
I'll second that.
Josh, second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, updates regarding various boards, commissions, and activities since our last meeting. Josh, I'll start with you if you got anything that you
Sure. Went to, the chamber meeting this morning. Sounds like they are, getting some new members on, some old members are coming off here in the next couple months. So they've got, looks like 4 people are eligible. And they got an alternate, so it sounds like there's plenty of people that want to join. Couple of new businesses have joined as well, scooters here in town, and a couple outside of the area that are, they kind of invest in main streets and chambers throughout the country, so they're, submitted applications. They're in the process of getting their budget taken care of. Their fiscal year starts in October. And they're doing their annual meeting, next month on the 16th. They're doing it over at the brewery here in town. They're calling it, Chamber on Tap. So they're inviting all the public out, from 4 PM to 6 PM. And it's a lengthy discussion on internet. They're having internet issues. They dropped MediaCom due to billing issues. Went to Verizon through a an all mobile hotspot type thing. That didn't work out so well. They had too many computers trying to work on minimal. They are keeping one of them. They said that it came in handy during party in the park for using credit card transactions, but we're looking at alternates, whether it's Starlink, T-Mobile. They had potentially approached going fiber because it's right across the street, but to get it from across the street at that business, the coin business or whatever it is, to go across the street is about $18,000. So they could share it, if other people on the block wanted it, but nobody else is really interested in doing an $18,000 expenditure.
Wow. Okay.
There's grants for that. They can get a grant for that.
And then October 27th is Spook Walk, and the lighted parade is coming back on December 5th. That's about it.
Right.
I participated in I was asked to join the Main Street Charles City accreditation process where the state people were here touring the town and meeting. They had a meeting with chief elected officials, and Mark asked if I would join that. So it was Mayor Andrews and the representative from the school and Krista Noah, the new city council member, were at that part of the meeting. And so it went really well. I think we probably look good for having being reaccredited or whatever the process is for Main Street Charles City. We'll find out down the road if that happened. And then I attended a Northeast Iowa Workforce Development Area meeting. If you remember, we talked about the merger with South Central Workforce Development Area and Mississippi Valley, and our thoughts were that it was too fast for us to be able to do this merger by October 1st. Mississippi Valley and South Central are doing the merger. They plan on having that ready by October 1st. At this time, the Workforce Development Board has taken it kind of off the table now for us to consider a merger July 1, just because of some publicity that's come out on it, and some Mississippi Valley was kind of directing how it's going to happen without our input. And so we're not opposing to a merger. We're just not going to push it at this time and see how things come out. And, so, what we did is we supported merging. That's the direction the Northeast Iowa Workforce Development Board went. So that's still not off the table. It's just efforts are slowed at this time to do anything.
So have they got a date? That they,
With South Central and Mississippi Valley, they plan to have their merger done by October 1st, which they need to, because South Central doesn't have a fiscal agent or a director for their workforce development area. So they need something in place by October 1st.
and we don't have that either, though, right?
We're fine. We're sitting fine in our area.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So we're good. And, we did, I think I reported that we didn't think we are gonna be able to do this by October 1st. We're set up a little different. We've got 3 different workforce offices. We've got,
Okay.
we hadn't gotten, all of the counties hadn't said, yep, we're on board with it. So we just think we're just not, it's not feasible for us to do it at this time. And, the meeting that our director attended, and one of our board members, Gary Vickers, was one of the county board, said he's Franklin County, which county he's with. But they, felt like they were just being dictated on how it was going to happen, and, weren't really a player at the table saying, oh, what's best for a merged area.
okay.
So we're just.
That was kind of my concern with all the questions I was asking around it.
Yep, and it all seemed all good, but most of the questions were coming from South Central. But then when they started having the meetings with Mississippi Valley, they kind of said, here's how it's going to be, and so again, it's not that it's off the table forever. It's just right now, it's not something we're going to,
Pursue.
Northeast Iowa is going to be aggressive at saying, hey, we want to merge with somebody.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, all right. And
That's it for me.
that's
Those 2
okay.
meetings.
And myself, just working on the DD3 thing, and then, and I got a question, and maybe this is the time, but maybe it is. I got an email from the Early Child Development.
Childhood Iowa.
Yeah, maybe Morgan can tell me, or you, They want to certify me or, I mean, I don't understand that.
It's Shauna's, I don't recall Lori Christensen ever had the board approve members.
Yeah.
But Shauna says that's what the T for F area does. The Butler, Bremer, Franklin, Grundy County,
Okay,
they make it a formal action item of their board, so that's what Shauna's intent is to do that. But when I look back, because I'm working on state reporting right now, and it looks like, and I don't recall ever, but I may have missed something that Lori ever did it that way. But that's what Shauna is used to. And so it just makes it official that you're the rep on that board. We've already done that, but this is the first meeting Shauna wants you to, wanted to be a agenda item. I'll probably talk to her a little bit more about it. The meeting was going to be tonight,
Yeah.
but they had lack of attendance, so it's gonna be September 2nd now.
September,
2nd.
so,
She'll probably be getting something out today. And it went out that it's been canceled, but she'll get, I need to get that.
okay, I didn't
Yeah.
really just.
Yeah. So I think it's just,
I was
I
at
don't know
loss,
how-
what?
I think it's almost kind of like 99 counties. We don't always all do everything the same way, and I think this must be just a difference in areas that,
Okay.
and that's what she's used to, so
Just
that's,
wanted to make sure that I was
yeah.
on the same page and
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. Okay,
You're appointed to it as far as
whatever,
our board did.
all right,
She's just making it a formal thing that her board did.
okay. Moving on, number 7, review action regarding the remaining of the Thomas S. Rivley Whitfield Eddy Law invoice for mediation, services and,
I had emailed you the email that I'd sent to Tom Revley,
yeah,
and I don't think we've gotten anything back from him.
okay, that's what I was wondering. And, so I would just like to table it again
That's fine.
until we hear back. Okay, yeah,
I agree.
okay, thank you. Table that. Number 8, note the closing of fund 25,000 FMC ECI Early Childhood Fund.
Yeah, so this one I can talk to, the state has, the Early Childhood Iowa has 2 different funds. Fund 24,000 has been school ready and Fund 25,000 has been early childhood.
24,000 what?
School ready,
School ready.
yeah. And Fund 25,000 is early childhood. And, the state is transitioning, has transitioned, the early childhood side that they're covering that. And so we had a fund balance, claim was sent through a couple weeks ago to clear that out to a 0 balance. And so that's happened. Lexi, and I think Lexi was the guy to me, or maybe it was you, that Elizabeth Fire, our Gardner Thompson auditor, suggested that it be, just noted as sufficient evidently.
Mhm. The Board of Supervisors will acknowledge the closing of the fund in the minutes. It is a custodial fund, so they don't approve it since the county is just the fiscal agent and has control over the general ledger. The closing of the funds needs to be acknowledged.
So the remaining funds were put into Fund 24,000.
Oh, they switched
It
it.
was 1,700 or something like that, the amount was, but, so it just got moved.
That's
Yeah.
what that,
Yeah.
we have to,
Just,
well, we just note that that's
Yeah.
happening. Okay. Question on that. Josh, you get, okay. Okay. All right, good. Number 9, note the hiring of a jailer. Hire a jailer.
yes.
Hopefully this makes them fully staffed.
Will this
Yeah.
get them full staff?
Hope so.
Okay.
So we are noting the hiring of Cassidy Wagner starts September 1st. starting pay is $24 an hour and increases to $25 per hour once she's completed the state certification.
Duly noted.
That, I think that does put him back at full staff.
Okay,
Think.
I think so too. I think it includes that additional jail that was budgeted for this year as well.
Yeah,
okay.
it should be good there.
10, future agenda items.
Meeting, 83.
Yeah, hopefully, the meeting with Bolton Lake. Hopefully, where we table number 7, we'll dig that up again.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't come up with,
We'll need to set the date for the canvas of the election at a future meeting of the September 23rd election
so,
for that a week later. There's a formal agenda item to set the date, time, canvas.
but that'll be a later date. You want that?
You could do it any,
For September 9th. Set that.
oh, yeah.
It's
you
on the
could.
list for
Yeah.
September.
Or it is? Okay,
Unless.
That's fine.
on
Nope,
Saturday.
nope, that's fine.
that's fine.
That's good.
Spread out the workload. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it needs to be a future agenda item or something that's discussed, but it's been brought up to me by a handful of people, audio issues with the meeting. Not being able to hear, not being very clear and staticky. So I think we should look at moving forward on something to improve it, whether go to Teams where everybody has a microphone or a better system with phones or something like that. There are microphones that you can put for Teams that are clear.
I think, were you gonna talk with Bernie about some system that you
I
guys?
mentioned it at one point. I got some information on one of the systems that we've been using. It's pretty spendy. When we use it for some of our larger conference rooms, but they do also make individual microphones that you can plug into your computers and whatnot that are, or you can even come off of the system that you're running it on and you can just mute those individually. And those are about $100 a piece versus the $7,000 full system.
Well, and then you have issues like you have today, where you have no
Right.
control.
And that's where Teams does come in handy. You are able to
Mute.
mute and everything else and start, you can set it up to where nobody can share without permission and all that other.
So we're just making the transition over currently from Zoom to Teams, and I'm aware of the microphones and stuff, but budget wise, I thought I'd stay away from anything like that for a while because we're wanting to make things right. And then phone wise, I mean, you're at their mercy when it's a regular telephone conference because you can't just kick an individual out. Now we do have an option with the new phone system to make the Teams device a SIP device to where we give them out that number. And when they call in, if somebody leaves something on, they're driving down the road or somebody wants to scream and yell, we can mute them. But when they call into a conference phone, we're kind of at their mercy. But I'm all about upgrading and changing stuff. That'd be great. It's just, being cautious of the budget at this time is all.
Thanks, Bernie.
It's definitely, I think, better in this room than it is when we go to EOC.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
That's bad.
And I keep trying to remind myself to talk up.
Well, that's how the conversation started, and then I'm not a very loud person anyway, but it was mentioned that I was sometimes hard to hear, so I promised that I would speak up louder, but also discuss it, because I've heard it a few other times as well.
Okay. Well, we'll work.
And then we're all sitting here with laptops in front of us that are.
It's
blocking
a,
that as well.
it's a problem
Okay.
for us guys that can't get here all the time to try to hear what's going on. All
Okay.
you do is get bits and pieces. You can't hear Morgan at all. So you guys ask her a question, we can't hear her reply. So, I mean,
Okay.
We might have to have
public is-
Morgan come back up to the table.
Oh, I think she's fine where she's at. So,
But if you can't hear me, then I'm
Then
not
it's not
fine.
fine.
well, but I think that's part of the sound system problem.
And when you listen to them through here, through the recordings, those are usually beautiful. You can hear everybody usually pretty well. It's just
Yeah, the
live.
team system works really well. But
Yeah.
home, you're-
I am literally on a laptop right now with just laptop speakers and I can hear everybody in that room.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's
sometimes
control.
troubleshooting other people's speakers and their computer, their connectivity, that's tough too, you know, but
To the phone system, correct?
What?
You're referring to the
I'm
phone system.
referring to the phone system. I do not have my laptop with me when I'm out working.
Well, but as an alternative though, when we had Zoom, you could dial in with a Zoom number rather than the conference line number.
Yep.
And that might have been a better option for you.
and see, that was a question I had for you guys here a few weeks ago about making that Teams device in your boardroom a SIP device. But we would take away that conference phone and it would just be, you would dial and do everything on that Teams device. That would be your meeting, that would be your telephone, everything. And I think with the owl in there, the microphone picks things up pretty good. And the speaker, I think that would be the way to go. And for future reference, as what Josh had mentioned about the microphones that you can turn off and on for Teams, it would work with that over the conference phone, so. And be much clearer.
But I think we're losing this conference phone anyway. I don't know what else comes in its place with a new phone system. Isn't that right, Bernie?
Correct, it'll be a different type. It'll be a Cisco branded device. But we do have the option. If we want to have a conference phone, we can. If we want to use the Teams device for the dial in, dial out device, we can use that as well.
Okay.
You can sure hear that furnace fan running.
Oh,
Can't do anything about that. That happens in a lot of meetings as well. You try listening to a city hall meeting? It's,
I'd fix it. Fine.
well, if you got a magic way to fix it, but
But
as
you
a
would.
professional.
You know what? I don't believe that. If that fan ran all the time in your house, wouldn't you fix it? I would. That's fine.
okay. Love it. Adjourn. I have a motion for adjournment.
Take it away, Josh.
I'll make the motion.
Thanks, Josh.
I'll second.
You. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjourn. Okay. All right. How much range you get?
4, 3 and 8 tenths, 3 and 9.
Boy, talked to a guy coming up that said north of Lime Springs.